be switched over quickly. As quickly as game one ended, game two started. They got the girls out on the field and they said, we're ready to go. As this one will roll out of play. So let's meet the starting lineups for the Governors. See if we can squeeze in a quick Envirotech ad in between the two starting lineups. Here's Josephine Wirtz, one of the defenders, kicks it free back towards midfield. Emlyn Swanson will be behind the post, or will be between the posts today. Jasmine Yost, Katie Hostler, Kinsley Pfeffer, Josephine Wirtz, Natalie Flottmeyer, Caitlin Taylor, Lexi Hilmer, Devin Van Rokel, Allison Demers, and Sophia Brueggemann will be the starting lineup for the Govs. And you know what? We've got a little break in the action, so let's hear a word from our friends at Envirotech, who sponsor our starting lineups.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
And during that Envirotech ad, a good scoring opportunity for the Governors, as it was Devin Van Rokel, a familiar name, and many familiar names on this starting lineup for the Governors. Avery Young, Kylie Mellon, Riley Healy, Trinity Larson, Sophia McNaby, Alexis Thorson, Reagan Alvarez, Bailey Merchant, Lindsay Cole, Aubrey Mayu, and Joanna Williams rounds out the starting lineup for the Cobblers here. As we've also got our Keys to Success presented by Central Dakota Eye Care. We'll let you hear that in another break in the action here momentarily. And without my partner in crime, Chris Derry, you know, we don't get to do a too in-depth Keys to Success. So you know what I'm going to say the Keys to Success today for the Governor girls are? Put some more goals on that Gales Gas Service scoreboard than the Rapid City Cobblers will put up. I think that'll spell out a win. We'll hear from our friends who sponsor our Keys to Success at Central Dakota Eye Care here momentarily. Push coming from the Governors out in front. Almost kicked in by Devin Van Rokel. Joanna Williams came out of the net to try to cut off that cross, and it got by her, and Van Rokel had a nice opportunity, and we've got a whistle and a push down. As a lot of folks are still gathered over there on the opposite side, kind of in the exact same position, just on the flip side of the pitch where that Hall of Fame ceremony is taking place. Looks like Jasmine Yost will be kicking this set piece from about 10 yards outside of the far side corner. Governors attacking from left to right on your radio dial. Yost waiting patiently. Yost delivers, low trajectory kick, blocked by the wall, set up by the Cobblers. And Yost comes flying in to try to steal it away. It'll roll out of bounds off the foot of the Cobblers, and we'll do it again. Aubrey Mayu was the one to deflect that free. Ball pinballing back and forth down near that far side corner. For the moment, Alexis Thorson has it. Devin Van Rokel comes up to pressure her just a bit. Jasmine Yost there to block out the pass. And we actually had a substitution coming at the goalkeeper position. Emlyn Swanson not there between the pipes to start. I think she might have been trying to get her gear on. As Sophia Brueggemann defends that one, kicks it out of play. It'll stay with the Govs. Brueggemann will be throwing it in. And a quick whistle as Katie Hostler's left looking around. And now Emlyn Swanson will check in. So she was kind of surprised, was Swanson, by the quick start, as I think everybody was. But again, there's weather possible coming in, so they wanted to get this game going as quickly as possible. And I'll listen to what Chris Derry said. I'll stop talking about what could possibly happen, as Kylie Mellon will push that one out of play. Picked up by the Govs, thrown into Hostler. And one ball from the JV game behind us just came flying in. Not sure where it went. Hit me in the chair, but all our equipment's okay. My trusty chair bearing the brunt of that as Sophia Brueggemann throws it in from the sideline just about 10 yards upfield from that near side corner flag. That one booted out of play. Both teams just trying to get a feel for each other. The Governors controlling the time of possession here very early on, as we're only a couple minutes into this matchup. Stolen away and booted downfield. Gets to that back line where Caitlin Taylor's waiting for it. This core lineup for the Governors returning is so big for Kira Swenson and this coaching staff, as they had a lot of success last year. A little bit upset by the way the season ended, understandably, but man, did they put together a great campaign. As Lexi Hilmer, one of those returners who played a lot as a freshman last year, will chase one down. It goes off of her foot and out of bounds past the end line. So it'll set up a goalie kick here for the Cobblers. As we're about 20 minutes away from the noon hour here at the Pilk on River 92.7. Governors got the win in Game 1 in the boys varsity matchup, 4-0. Governor girls trying to make it a clean sweep today. Flatmeyer with it, turns and sends it back towards midfield. Josephine Wirtz there for it, pushes it ahead to Jasmine Yost. Yost rolls it back to Taylor. Taylor sends it across the field here, near side for Brueggemann. And this one pushed through, and now a chasing Kylie Millen will be called off sides. So an opportunity looked like it was formulating there for the Cobblers, but the whistle went and the flag went up. And it'll be an offside, so Jasmine Yost will contain it, control it, and we'll kick it away for the Govs. Push through to Flatmeyer. We see a lot of those guys on the boys' side dyeing their hair white. Flatmeyer's gone with the purple dye in the hair as Devin Van Rokel pushes. She's got Kinsley Pfeffer off to her right, trying to feed it through to Pfeffer. That one won't get through. Shot on goal from Jasmine Yost as she cleaned up the loose ball, but it just tails wide. And a good opportunity would not turn into a goal for the Governors. Still no score here on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard. More festivities continuing on at the Hall of Fame ceremony. And that will be cleaned up by the goalkeeper as the wind tries to blow all of our stuff away. Wind picking up, sun trying to peek its way through the clouds here. And a sight for sore eyes, Chris Derry making his way back to the broadcast booth. Maybe we'll see if we can talk a little keys to success with him. As this one's taken away by Devin Van Rokel at midfield, pushed forward for Lexi Hilmer. Hilmer giving chase into the far side corner, but will run out of room. And that will be pushed out of play past the end line by a Cobbler, and will set up the first corner kick here of the afternoon for the Govs. Another nice defensive play made by Chris Derry, chasing down the show sheet here as the wind continues to swirl. Corner kick coming in from Lexi Hilmer, bounces, and we've got a whistle. And we'll see what this will lead to. They're going to say that somebody was out of position for the Governors, and well, it will lead to a goalie kick, so that corner kick from Lexi Hilmer was not to be. This one pushed out by Joanna Williams, the senior goaltender for the Rapid City Central Cobblers. Off the leg of Caitlin Taylor. Pushed back towards midfield, picked off by Jasmine Yost. Cut off, pushed forward by Allison Demers. Ball pinballing back and forth at midfield. And now we've got a whistle, and it's time for our Central Dakota Eye Care keys to success. Here, let's hear a word from them while we wait on play.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new, innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
And I welcome Chris Derry back onto the headset. Sorry, Chris, we had to pay some bills with that abbreviated start game and pregame show. Here is
understandable.
They were ready to go, but there was a Hall of Fame ceremony going on across the pitch on the other side, so they had to wait a moment. How was that while you were over there? As the Cobblers corral one here from Avery Young, it will roll out of play. But we're just dying to hear. How cool was that to hand out some plaques and talk to some new Hall of Famers for the Pierre Governors?
You know, it's emotional for me. Emotional for a lot of reasons, but mostly because the four that we inducted in, Jerry Wilson, Candy Smith, Tom Rounds, and Ed Paul, the four of them helped to get Pierre soccer off the ground. They were there at the beginning. They were there to, you know, create a lot of what you see today. And I consider a lot of them my mentor. I consider a lot of them friends. I consider a lot of them the reason why I became the board member and the coach that I am today. So, you know, it's been an amazing, for me, an amazing 25 years of being in Pierre soccer and coaching and adminning and everything else that I've done. And to be 100% honest, there's a lot of people I got to thank for where I'm at. And these four were a great way to start our first ever class of Hall of Famers. And they're only going to help us to build Hall of Fame class into what it should be and recognize other people like Gordon Hollenbeck and others who deserve to be in there just as well. Ted Parsons, Tom Johnson, you know, Kevin Force, a lot of these guys that were there at the very beginning. So it was an honor to hand it out. I wish we would have had more time between games, but obviously today's weather is what today's weather is.
Absolutely, but we're glad that you got the opportunity to go over there and see some old faces and shake a few hands and talk to a few folks that made Pierre Governors soccer what it is today, as we're still scoreless here in the first half between the Cobblers and the Governors. In game number 2, neither team has really kind of felt like they've been able to feel out each other just yet. Not as quickly of a start as we saw in game 1 from these two schools, I should say, two different squads with the girls and boys. But it's certainly been a slower start. And you know, we talked a little bit about keys to success. Wasn't as in-depth as usually yours are, Chris, but you know, after this corner, I think we can get into kind of what the Govs need to do today to get another win, keep themselves towards the top of that standing list. And classification 11. Corner kick coming from the Cobblers. Out in front, up top, and over the head of Emlyn Swanson and booted in by the Cobblers. What a setup from the corner. And Rapid City Central has taken an early 1-0 lead. We'll get a number for you on the goal scorer. That looked like it was Sophia McNaby.
Yeah, and that was a good, excellent corner kick from Rapid City there. And Emlyn just timed her jump, floated over top of her head. Normally she's pretty proficient at that. And this time she just got, I'm sure the wind probably helped it a little bit and helped, you know, unfortunately caused her to misjudge it. But Emlyn's an extremely intelligent goalkeeper. She's got a lot of experience, and she won't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, it's rare that you see Emlyn Swanson between the pipes make a mistake, so now she relies on her offense to pick her up here as Katie Hostler has Jasmine Yost's pass cut off in front of her and roll out of play. But just perfectly set up from the corner, and Rapid City Central took advantage of it, and something you need to do against a good team like the Governors here. Josephine Wirtz feeds it back in. This one popped over the head of a couple Governor players. Caitlin Taylor will chase it down. And roll out of play right to Kira Swenson, and the Cobblers will regain control. Sliding out of play, one of the captains there, Trinity Larson, couldn't keep it in.
And the wind has definitely picked up here a little bit, has given is going to change the way this game looks if it keeps going. But one good sign is that clouds look to be lightening up a little bit. Maybe we're going to have a nice game, get it all in, and Governors hopefully can make some adjustments and a comeback.
Well, it seems that the sun is certainly trying to peek through some of these light mixed in with dark clouds as the Cobblers lead 1-0 here early on. We're about halfway through the first half of game number 2. This one's booted back towards midfield. We've just had to kind of roll on the fly, but this wind has picked up. Those 2 flags across the pitch directly across from us have certainly picked up. Ball bouncing and the fight at midfield as it goes back and forth ensues. Roll out of play.
The one thing that I see in this game is the fact that Governors like to play a certain way. They impose their will on the other team, even though they're a young team, which the Governors by varsity standards are. They impose their will, their speed, their tenacity, their aggressiveness to the ball and everything. The counter to that, though, is that the Cobblers over there are coached by 2 coaches who have probably more experience at the high school level than anybody else in the state on the girls' side, with Morgan and Troy over there. And Troy's been coaching high school soccer since 1999, and Morgan's been high school soccer since 2003-4, somewhere in that ballpark. Coached against both of them. So it's going to be an interesting matchup to see what they do against this strong Pierre Governor team as coaches and adjusting their girls.
A lot of senior presence for this Cobbler roster, but a lot of returning names for the Governors, and that's got to make Kira Swenson pretty comfortable knowing that her game style and her game plans can kind of carry over from what they were a year ago that drew them so much success.
Yeah, it helps that there's a lot of familiarity there. It also helps that they've had the successful start that they've had, and to get going, to get the game rolling like they have each game. Now they're going to be tested. This will be the first time they're having to play from behind this entire season. So this is an excellent opportunity for them to grow as a team, learn. Hey, this is what we need to do. We can't let our heads drop. We got to keep playing the same aggressive style soccer that we have that's made us successful, and all that goes with that. So it's going to be fun to watch this game as it goes on.
Certainly unfamiliar territory for the Governors, as Chris mentioned, playing from behind, something they haven't done yet this year, but they get the opportunity to try to even this match up, looking for the equalizer, as this one is ripped away, taken away by Bruggeman, and now we got a whistle. As that one will be jarred free. We do have a substitution as Zoe Bauer is checked into the game. We saw Zoe a good bit last year, not really in cleanup time, but more so as one of those reliable substitutions. And man, can Zoe Bauer fly. Fun to watch her play soccer. We also see another substitution coming in for the Govs, or has come in. It's Reed Curry who's checked into the match. Here comes Zoe Bauer showing off some of that speed right on cue. That one booted forward off the foot of a Cobbler, and that'll stay with the Govs. It'll be a throw in about 20 yards south of that near side corner flag down the right side. Again, Governors tacking from left to right on your radio dial.
Yeah, for Rapid City, number 26, Bailey Merchant out there. She's going to be the catalyst to a lot of what Rapid City does there. She does a good job of cleaning up a lot of messes there in the middle part of the field defensively, and is a good ball distributor. It's going to be fun to see what she does for Rapid City and how Pierre works around her.
While you were over at the Hall of Fame ceremony, there was an early scoring opportunity for the Governors, but it was a great save by Joanna Williams. Since then, they haven't really been able to get anything out in front of the net. Cobblers have tightened things up on defense in the early going. As this one will go out of play while we sort things out. It's like a corner kick up coming here for the Governors.
Yep,
They're just waiting to choose who takes it.
Yep, Jasmine's heading out there to go take it. Normally I think it'd be Natalie or Lexi that would be taking it, but it looks like they're getting ready to sub back in.
So Yost will take the corner kick. She floats one in. Nice trajectory on that one. A lot of contact out in front of the net. Ball still bouncing around. Nobody's claimed it yet. Dev Van Rokel trying to. Sophia Bruggeman, one of the only 8th graders. The only 8th grader in the starting lineup. One of the only 8th graders that we'll see, but you got to know for Kira Swenson as 2 subs come in, love to have that young talent play even younger before they even get into those high school years.
Yeah, Lexi and Natalie come in for Maya and Micah there coming off the field. Maya, another 8th grader. Again, this team is a young squad for Pierre, and a lot of years ahead. A lot of these girls. So if Kira can keep building on this, she's got a team that she's going to have for a couple of years here.
Lexi Hilmer sent one in towards the net, but it sailed wide. So Joanna Williams was set to kick it away, but it was stolen away. There by Zoe Bauer. Nice defensive play from Bauer. Jasmine Yost getting physical out there. That one dinged up her left thigh a little bit. You could tell she felt that one. She's already wearing a pretty heavy wrap on that right thigh. Bruggeman has it taken away momentarily by Skylar Huber.
Little side note for Rapid City, Joanna Williams over there in the keeper in the net for them. Good to see Joanna back out here. She's gone through some pretty rough times medically here over the last year, and has really worked hard to get back out on the field after a few surgeries and everything else. So on a personal note, it's good to see her out here playing for Rapid City. I know she's loves playing the game, and it hurt her to not be able to play for a while.
Absolutely. This one centered, sent out a play by Lindsay Cole. This will set up a corner kick for the Governors. You hate to see surgeries take place at the high school level for a young player, especially like Joanna Williams, but the resiliency and the persistence to get her back out on the field, that's what great stories are made of.
Yeah, and I know Jo personally and her mom, and she's a fighter. She refuses to be told no, and it shows by her being back out there again this year.
Well, the way she's playing, it certainly doesn't look like she's dealt with a couple surgeries. She's looked pretty good there between the pipes. Lexi Hilmer sends in the corner off the head of a Cobbler defender. Careens out towards the Cobbler bench. Chasing that one down will be Huber. She'll get to it first, send it back towards midfield, cut off by Bruggeman. Pushed out of play. That one sent out by Avery Young, sophomore forward for the Cobblers. Jasmine Yost will get her first break of the day. Katie Hostler back into the game after she got a short rest. Tossed in by Bruggeman and bouncing around, taken away. Nicely done by Zoe Bauer, trying to turn the corner, trying to get around. Alexis Thorson out in front of the net. Good defense there by the Cobblers to cut that off before it got to Joanna Williams. But it'll stay with the Govs. And we've got a whistle. And it will be turned over to the Cobblers.
Yeah, Natalie came in to win that ball back and just came in a little bit too much from behind, and our referee out there, who's extremely experienced, didn't like it, and letting her know, hey, I don't like certain things, I like other things. Let's clean it up a little bit.
But I'm sure that Kira Swenson liked it. She likes to see her team get physical and try to wear down the opponent, especially when you're trailing 1-0. As this one will come out of bounds right in front of us. Be thrown in by Bruggeman, popped up into the air by the Cobblers, and now pushed towards that sideline. That'll go out of play.
Very experienced crew out here. I'm just getting acclimated to the game a little bit, but experienced crew of referees out there to handle this match of this magnitude, and it's shaping up to be a fun game to watch.
Grant Carlson on double duty today. He officiated the boys' game earlier, and he's out here for the girls' game as well. He got a short break, tapped into his water bottle, got some out of the jug, and he was back out there ready to go. Big thanks to our great officials for being out here today. Had to get going on short notice. Devin Van Rokel fighting along the far sideline.
I got to talk to Nicole and Megan before the game. Nicole's our center ref there.
Nice shot there by Lexi Hilmer, but it sails high of the crossbar over the head of Joanna Williams and out of play. But a good look from Hilmer there. Especially tough to get that one on the mark with this win, but back to what you were saying there, Chris.
Yeah, it was Nicole and Megan coming in before the game, got to chat with them, and they were commenting on the fact that they were wondering what kind of game we were going to have here today, because they drove through a ton of rain getting here and didn't know what to expect. So I'm sure they're pleasantly happy, surprised at the way the games have turned out so far. So But Megan and Nicole are a couple great refs here for the state of South Dakota.
Under 14 minutes to play here in the first half of Game 2. Bruggeman will throw it in here right in front of our press box. As Reed Curry checks out of the game. Thrown in by Bruggeman, trying to get it into Zoe Bauer. Bounces through a couple different bodies. Aubrey Fisher, another one of these 8th graders out there, checked in. Ball out in front of the net, but cut off by more good defensive play from the Cobblers, but it feels like the Governors are chipping away at these opportunities.
Yeah, they're getting some pressure forward. They just need to get that final product.
Zoe Bauer sends one out inside the box, out in front of the net. Ball's kicked out, and the Cobblers, as of right now, looking like they're just trying to white-knuckle it into halftime. These balls will get in out in front of the net, and the Cobblers will just clear them out, let them go out of play, and then live to fight another battle. Flottmeyer fighting, losing it. Ball towards midfield, pushed ahead. Avery Young sends it a bit too far. Emlyn Swanson comes to clean it up.
And like Carter Templeton from before, playing off of her line, making sure to help her defenders out and clear the ball forward to save a little work for them.
And I bet Emlyn is still stewing over that first goal scored. The only goal scored in this matchup today. This one is sent, rattles off the time clock, and Bruggeman will have yet another throw. And her arms might be getting tired with all these balls that she's throwing back into play as we get our first true ray of sunlight to creep through the clouds overhead. Zoe Bauer and a defender go down to the turf. They play on. Cobblers pushing through. And a cutoff and a whistle as Caitlin Taylor got a little bit too in front and chopped down Kylie Mellon. And that'll draw a whistle.
Yeah, and I will say I think the Governors are fortunate there that Nicole blew that dead instead of letting the advantage play on, because if she lets the advantage play on, Rapid City had actually recovered that ball and were driving in on net. So it was a yellow card, an earned yellow card by Miss Taylor, but
maybe a good one.
Yeah, it was a good card because stopped the attack.
Had to sacrifice a little bit. Now Caitlin Taylor will be tightening things up a little bit for the rest of the match. This one floated in and right to Emlyn Swanson. She bobbled it for the moment. Had a Cobbler kind of roundabout over top of her back, but she stayed strong with it, kept it out of the net, and kept this a 1-goal game. Cobblers regain the possession. Avery Young with it, trying to knife through a couple defenders. That one off the foot. Josephine Wirtz will give chase towards that far side corner. Will Corral work up the far sideline. Give and go from Van Rokel off to Katie Hostler. Loses it for the moment. Cobblers regain. High kick is sent over the top of the crossbar by Kylie Mellon. And Emlyn Swanson will watch that one sail free. Gets a new ball. Runs out, surveys, places it down quickly, and pushes it forward to Sophia Bruggeman. Bruggeman has it stripped away. That was Talia Backus who took it away. Ball out towards the middle, about halfway in between the semicircle and the midfield corner. This one taken away by Lexi Hilmer. She makes her way back towards midfield, crosses and pushes forward for Devin Van Rokel. Foot race down to the far side corner. Van Rokel gonna lose the chase, but she forces a kick out of play by the Cobblers. And just as quickly as that sun peeked through, it peeked back behind the clouds, but no precipitation at the moment as we are under 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Cobblers leading 1-0. Pushed forward by Rapid City and Trinity Larson. Larson's got it back. She turns around, kicks it back towards midfield. Picked up by Bailey Merchant. Merchant sends it in, and Emlyn Swanson with a two-handed punted catch, looking like a punt returner from last night's Governors game. Fields that one cleanly. Takes her time surveying, and now we'll just boot it up into the wind. Wind will do a number on that one as Zoe Bauer watches it sail over her head and out of play. Couple subs coming in here for the Cobblers. Aubrey Mayu checking in.
And Riley Brugge.
Yeah, as you were over there, the wind started to pick up, and we had to kind of adjust here with all of our, they call them paperweights, but they're wind weights. Last year we had a couple windstorms that came through. We even had a computer go on the loose. Hasn't gotten that bad yet. Zoe Bauer with a lot of contact, thigh to thigh, with Trinity Larson. You could hear the contact through the headset. Jasmine Yost will get the free kick from about 8 yards inside of the midway point of the field. Wanted to get going quickly, but got called back by Kira Swenson. Yost is always animated. And I think that's what her teammates love about her. Nice send in front. Opportunity here, but Lexi Hilmer couldn't get to it in time. It was kicked out of play by Trinity Larson, saving another scoring opportunity and stealing one away from the Govs.
Riley Brugg and Lexi were teammates for a few years and know each other well. So Riley read that play from Lexi and where she was going with it. She's seen her do it a few times.
A lot of these girls play summer soccer together, soccer outside of the high school season, so they know each other's games so well. I always find that so interesting about these matchups as the corner comes in from Flotmeyer, kicked away momentarily. Hilmer puts her body on the line to save the possession. Flotmeyer couldn't corral it. It's pushed out of bounds. Flotmeyer insisting. The ball girl gives her the ball immediately. She gets it, taken away by the Cobblers. Some nifty footwork steals it away from Jasmine Yost, a whistle, and it'll go back to Rapid City Central. What do you listen for from the coaching staffs in their notes that they shout out from either sideline to their players out on the pitch?
Well, right now you're listening to the coaches over there on the Pierre girls varsity sidelines. A lot of positive reinforcement, just trying to guide them in their decision-making process. They're animated, they're talking a lot, they're giving them a lot of ideas versus
as Yost sends this one out in front of the net off the forearms of Joanna Williams. What a dangerous play that was as Devin Van Rokel came flying in. Looked like Williams was dealing with a little bit of a wind sustaining that ball up in the air. It kind of curled on her at the last moment. She had her arms stretched out forward. They bounced off the biceps and out in front, and Devin Van Rokel with a wry smile on her face knows that she had a chance to get the equalizer and tie this game up.
Yeah, the wind kick was blowing right into that, which caused that ball to float through the timing off for Joe back there. And to her credit, she recovered it and took the hit. She knew the hit was coming. You could see her bring her knee up and duck her head. She knew the hit was coming, so she was ready for it.
Yost steals the kick from Joanna Williams, intended for her teammate, and Yost, who's always flying around, she's kind of like a gnat out there. She's everywhere. She's always up in your face, and I think that's one of the favorite attributes that this coaching staff loves about Jasmine Yost. She likes to be pesky. As Yost puts this one back out in front off the right foot of Hilmer, still in play along the end line, and Yost will kick it off the shin of a Cobbler defender and set up a corner kick coming for the Govs.
And again, Jasmine's pressure right there, just doing what she does. Let me find an inch of space here, and I'm going to create 10 feet.
Kinsley Pfeffer trying to play blocker in front of Joanna Williams on this corner. Looks like Lexi Hilmer is going to take the corner here for the Govs in the waning minutes of this first half. Hilmer sends it in, low-lining kick, bounces through a couple of legs. Finally controlled by Allison Demers, who kicks it back, stumbling down is Katie Hostler. That one squirts out towards midfield. A battle between Demers and the Cobblers ensues. Controlled by the Cobblers. And the Cobblers have weathered this storm. Even leading 1-0, the Cobblers have weathered some of these offensive opportunities by the Governors well. Pushed back towards midfield here by Josephine Wirtz. Ball still loose. Cleaned up by Larson. Back out in front for Mellon. Mellon puts it on play, and Emmeline Swanson goes down to all fours and covers it up.
And right now, I would say the Governors are playing a little bit panicked. They're coming in at the balls, flying at them, not under control. Just need to, be calm. You got a lot of game left to play. Your style of play has shown you can score goals. Just be patient, come in under control, win the ball, keep possession of it like they've done the rest of the game. So I think right now, if I'm Coach Kira and the rest of the staff over there, I'm telling them at halftime, hey, we just need to calm down, play soccer. It's coming. We're getting our pressure. When we get into trouble is when we panic, and we're playing panic soccer. So
is that a product of playing from behind for the first time yet this season?
Could be. This team is pushing them. They want to win on their home soil. They just watched the boys win. They're sitting atop the standings right now. So I mean, right now as a coach, the coaching staff needs to, probably needs to focus on is just, hey, we're sitting atop the standings for reasons because we play our style. Let's just focus on our style, and it will benefit us.
I think that's a good message. There's a reason, and when you click those standings, the Pierre Governors is the first name you see as Josephine Wirtz chases this one down, dishes it back to Emlyn Swanson, who kicks it our direction, looking for Zoe Bauer, plays it off the thigh, back towards midfield, controlled by the Cobblers and pushed out of bounds just a bit out in front of Avery Young. Brugman will throw it in. Hilmer will control, pushes it through, and now Zoe Bauer gets to turn on the Jets a little bit down the near sideline, turning it in towards the box. She is pushed off the ball, a lot of contact, and the Governor coaching staff incensed there was no whistle. It will lead to a corner kick for the Govs. Maybe a ball don't lie moment coming here if they can score on this corner, but certainly a lot of contact. That was a yellow card earlier against the Govs, and I think the coaching staff for Pierre wanted one there as well.
Yeah, it's all in the eyes of the referee right there. Nicole does call a certain type of game.
This one floated in by Hilmer. First to play it was Zoe Bauer. We'll see who gets the benefit of the call there as it rolls past the end line. The Cobblers will get it, and Joanna Williams will slow things down.
Yep, and like I was saying, Nicole's going to show you what kind of game she's going to call, and she's showing it to them. So just need to adjust. Like I said, go back to just calm down, play your game, and you'll do fine.
Bauer will throw it in. Last couple moments of this first half, Governors will look to see if they can try to steal one and even this up at one apiece. Josephine Wirtz will let it roll slowly out of play. Throws in quickly to Flottmeyer. Flottmeyer turns, weaves through defenders, back towards midfield, stolen away by Avery Young. Young looking ahead, dishes it forward for Aubrey Mayu. Mayu giving chase on the far side, turns it back towards the center of the box, puts one in on Swanson. Nice play there from Sophia Brugman to save a scoring opportunity. And we've got a whistle.
Got an offsides on the backside there for Rapid City.
Quickly sent in by Swanson, taken away by Demers. Devin Van Rokel will chase to the far sideline, couldn't get there in time. Wind continuing to buffet those flags across the way, buffeting the jerseys of these players as well as the kits sail in the wind. Hilmer tries to push one forward, dropping down a bit to stop that one there was Riley Brugg. This one pushed forward by the Cobblers. Avery Young with an opportunity, but another whistle and another offsides. Now, as a coach, even with these offsides, are you particularly pleased with getting yourself in opportunities like that, getting yourself out in front, even though maybe you're fooled a little bit by the back line who has a high IQ play to draw that offsides?
Yeah, I mean, Rapid City's pushing numbers forward. They're playing a 4-3-3, so they're having a lot of numbers go forward into the attack, and it's an easy adjustment for the coaches. Hey, your girls are doing a great job pushing it back line. Maybe just take a step and angle that run a little bit, diagonal that run, and instead of being so straight and you're not offside each time. So it's an easy little adjustment for the coaching staff. But if I'm the coach, I'm happy that the girls are pushing it. You got a 1-0 lead. We're showing that we want to keep pushing, and we're causing some uncomfortable moments for the Pierre defense.
Maya Fravel checks in for Aubrey Fisher. Here as the clock winds down, pushed forward by the Cobblers, redirected by Josephine Wirtz. Flottmeyer controls at midfield. Bounces off a body, a little bit of confusion there between Lexi Hilmer and Zoe Bauer for the moment. They get it sorted out, but it's off the head of a Cobbler defender and cut off. And another whistle, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Rapid City Central Cobblers get the goal from Sophia McNaby. They lead 1-0 after one half of play. We'll be right back with our halftime show presented by Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial. This timeout is going to be a 10-minute timeout brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the halftime show right after this on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
Ameriprise Advisors
Between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey, Josie.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Chris Derry. We've got Brian Menning working the camera and William Wilson back in the studio here this afternoon. Game number 2 is at the half. Rapid City Central Cobblers lead 1-0. And, Chris, you said it. Governors not really used to playing from behind at all this season, and it's maybe showing a little bit in their frantic pace of play.
Yeah, it's one thing to play with the lead. It's one thing to play when you're tied up. It's a different thing to play when you're behind a goal, and that's the time when your maturity as a team will show. That you just, hey, relax. Our style of play has scored us a lot. I said it a little bit ago. Our style of play has scored us a lot. If we keep playing, the goals will come. And when they've relaxed and played their style of soccer, they've had dangerous opportunities going forward. The only time they've gotten in trouble is when they've been frantic. And so, as coaching staff over there, I would just remind the girls of the successes that they've had so far this season. Remind them that, hey, this is one more step towards our ultimate goal, and just play your soccer. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about the score. The score will end up in our favor if we play our style.
3-2 sit the Rapid City, 2-3 sit the Cobblers on the season. They lost their first 2 games of the year, both to 2 good teams in O'Gorman and Yankton. They lost 4-1 to O'Gorman. They would get shut out by Yankton 3-0. They would put a 10-piece on Huron, winning 10-1 for their first win Followed that up with an equally as good performance against Mitchell, winning 7-3. They would lose their last matchup to Aberdeen Central, so they're looking to get even on the season. They lead it here 1-0 at the half. Pierre Governors looking for their 4th win on the year. They started off with a 3-1 victory over Aberdeen Central. They won a close one against Brookings 3-2. They got a draw with Sioux Falls Roosevelt, both teams scoring 1 goal, and they come off a win against Yankton last week 2-0. And of course they're trying to continue their good play on the season, sitting atop the standings as they look for another win on the year. So what is the key to success in this second half? Is it calming down, slowing down, playing your game? How do they find 1, maybe 2 goals and play some good defense to try to keep the Cobblers at that 1-goal pace and try to get 2 more in the second half?
Well, I do think it's calming down. When they've been frantic, they turn the ball over when they didn't need to. So when you win the ball out of the back, let's find our teammates' feet. Let's do what has been successful for us, keeping the ball, getting it a little bit out wide. Putting the pressure on the other team, attacking the ball. But when we attack it with a purpose. Just the things that the girls have done really well, and they've shown glimpses of it out here too. Unfortunately, it just hasn't. There's been glimpses of the other style that has hurt them. So I think this second half, the coaches will get them squared away. The girls are I promise the girls are putting pressure on themselves too. Hey, we're up top the standings. These girls are 3-2. We should win this game. We want to win this game. We want to stay where we're at. So, they got to get out of their heads as well and just play soccer the way they know how to play.
They probably feel like they need to score those 2 goals immediately to take the lead, but of course you just got to get them 1 at a time. And how do you expect the Cobblers to come out and play their game in the second half?
Well, with Coach Troy over there and Morgan, they're going to tell the girls, hey, if we stay organized in the back, they're not, we're going to be fine. When we get in trouble is when we make the bad passes or the bad tackles. And Coach Troy and Morgan have been coaching long enough that they know how to get the girls in the right frame of mind, give them the advice that they need, and just play their style of soccer. And if they get another goal, great. But if we keep a shutout, we're not going to lose this game.
We'll see if the Govs can get the 2 goals they need and the defense they need in the second half. We'll step away for another break. When we come back, second half action here from the Pilk on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
Xander, I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do. Welcome back to
See
the
Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
Well, if only for a moment, the sun is out as we get the second half underway here from the Pilk. The fourth half of this doubleheader here today. Justin Coward alongside Chris Derry in a 1-0 matchup. Cobblers took the lead early on a Sophie McNamee goal. They still lead that. Govs have had some scoring opportunities, but Joanna Williams has been a brick wall back there. As we get set, Governors will be attacking from right to left on your radio dial. The Cobblers going the opposite way. Wind continuing to blow strong here across this pitch, but just glad to be playing some soccer today. There was a lot up in the air after last night. Didn't even know if we'd get the football game in last night. We knew we wouldn't be playing on Hollister Field. But good to see the Pilk in prime condition here today.
Yeah, the field is held up well after that much rain. The fields are holding up really well for both games.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a ominous email from Brian Mosier this morning as Lexi Hilmer puts a charge down the near sideline, gets it along the end line, floats one out in front, but the wind takes it back behind the crossbar and the net. And we'll roll out of play. That email from Mosier said, we're still on for today. We're going to play the varsity game on one field, and we're going to have to move the nets on the other field because there's still standing water. I said, if there's standing water on one field, there's probably a lot of water on both, but this field has survived thus far, just needs to make it 40 more minutes. As the Govs looking for the equalizer and then the go-ahead goal if they can get one. The Cobblers' defense has been outstanding. Anytime they've had an opportunity to get out in front of the net, have the Govs. Seems like a Cobbler defender has been there to strike it away. Jasmine Yost trying to cut her way through. That one kind of bangs through, but again, a nice deflection there. That time Reagan Alvarez before it got to Joanna Williams. That'll go out of play off the Cobblers and set up a corner kick as Lexi Hilmer makes her way to the left side corner here.
And this is a ball here that Lexi wants to drive. If she wants to get the ball there, that wind is blowing in her face. She needs to drive the ball. Top of the 6, PK mark, a perfect spot.
That wind is blowing right back into her face. Hilmer approaches, sends it high up into the air, going to die out a little bit into that wind. Flottmeyer was the first to touch. Jasmine Yost fights for it, puts one on net, but not before a whistle. And that'll go against the Govs. Looks like they raised the flag there.
Jasmine cleared space a little bit with her arm, and
that's a good way to put it. Cleared some space.
She cleared some space, you know. Hey, I need a little area right here.
Jasmine assumes that role so well. She did last year, so much so that her mom said she embraces it.
She always has since she was young.
Well, it's not the kind of thing that just kind of happens one year. No, it's something that's instilled from you at an early age and has paid off with some great seasons of soccer. She's the kind of girl you love to have on your team and you hate playing against.
Absolutely.
Just because you know she's always going to be there, she's always going to be physical no matter what, and she's going to make it a long day for her opponent. This one whistled dead just inside midfield. Jasmine Yost will kick it forward a couple yards before she places it. Yost with the hand up, sends it forward. Back spinning kick off the head of the defender just inside the semicircle, picked up and pushed forward by Riley Healy. Gets through and now kicked back in the direction of Emlyn Swanson. We'll touch it once, then push it here near side. Caitlin Taylor's got it, quickly forces it ahead. Riley Healy puts a heel on it. Cobblers control just outside of the box on the right side. Push back in front of the net. Emlyn Swanson there. She double taps it with both hands. And there's no routine saves in this win, Chris Derry. Everything requires a maximum amount of focus from both goalkeepers.
Yeah, it does. You've definitely got to watch it all the way into your hands and get a clean grip on it.
Lexi Hilmer streaking up the far side, turns the corner, sends it out in front. She had Devin Rokel trailing, but just a bit too far out in front of Van Rokel. Ball still in play down the near side corner to the left. That'll be forced out of bounds. We'll go back to the Cobblers, but a good opportunity, a good job there by Lexi Hilmer. And we've got a Coca-Cola bottling timeout for a yellow card against somebody on the Governor bench.
Yeah, it's...
Might be one of the assistant coaches. And now we've got a red card, and somebody's going to be sent off the bench.
Yeah, Nicole's, the referee did not like what the coaching staff had to say, and unfortunately when you don't stop, Nicole's not going to let you continue on. She gave you your warning. You're not going to hear it. You're going to leave.
So the assistant coach there for the Governors, I believe that was Katie Berg. We're a little bit blocked out. Katie Berg making her way out to the parking lot. She has been dismissed early here to watch a little bit of college football on this Saturday afternoon. She was dealt the yellow card. Kira sent Berg back to the bench. And Kira was looking a bit perplexed at the whistle. And then maybe a couple more words from that bench drew the red card.
Yeah.
So Ms. Berg will have an early exit, just fighting for her team over there on that Governor bench.
Well, Katie is standing up for her team. She's standing up for her players, you know, and obviously as a coaching staff, as a head coach, you know, if your assistant coach gets removed, it's better than the head coach getting removed. But Katie's probably saying what the whole staff is thinking, and just voiced it.
And Nicole just happened to hear it.
Yeah, and Nicole's close enough to hear it.
So an interesting development here in this game. But we're back to play as the Cobblers control, send it all the way across. Kylie Mellum will push it ahead, giving chase. There's Sophia Bruggeman. Sure you can hear how intensely the wind is picked up through our microphones here as it blows across the pitch in our direction. This one crossed back, intended for Van Rokel, off the chest of her teammate and right to awaiting Joanna Williams. You know, sometimes baseball teams will get a little bit of jolt of energy after their manager gets ejected from the game. Is that same similarity with soccer?
If your coach has done something that has stood up for you and makes you feel empowered because your coach had your back, a lot of times, yes, it's, you know, as a coach, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you know, I've been kicked out of a couple games myself. And
you don't say, Chris, not you. As this one is centered off the corner and put in the back of the net for the Cobblers. It's Riley Healy off the corner kick. She found herself out in front of the net alone with Emlyn Swanson and banked it back in. And the Cobblers have extended their lead to 2-0.
Yeah.
What a quick strike there from the Cobblers.
Great centering pass. Emlyn saw it, came out, dove for it trying to get a punch on it to punch it away. And that wind, again, playing havoc with the flight of the ball. And just unfortunately kept it away from her. So good try by Emlyn. Great ball by the Rapid City Central attacker. And then the finishing was just, you know, hey, aim it towards the goal.
So now the Govs, who haven't played from behind all season long, now find themselves 2 goals behind. 34 minutes and some change left to play here in the half. And now something that you didn't want to see the Govs do, press the issue a little bit, might be warranted here in the second half, trailing by 2 with 33 minutes to play.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to need to push the issue now. You're playing from behind, but it starts with 1 goal. You just got to get the first goal. A lot of good things happen when you get that first goal. So, again, you know, there is a lot of time. You do just need to continue to play. But right now, poise and maturity are what's going to get you back into this game, not frantic and scattered.
And it felt like Emlyn Swanson had a decision to make on that play, and maybe felt like kind of a lose-lose decision. Whichever one she chose to go with might have ended up in a goal either way. So it's 2-0 Cobblers. And then we'll see if the Govs can kind of shake out of this as Avery Young chases down a loose ball. Cobblers continuing to press. Working on Josephine Wirtz. Young pushes it back, centers it. Picked up by Mayu. Dumped in for Young. Young turning, left-footed pass inside to the semicircle. Kicking it out to the far side corner. Good coverage by Zoe Bauer. This shot and a diving save by Swanson. Diving to her right alongside the post, reaches out and makes a beautiful save. It'll set up a corner for the Cobblers, but the Govs will be able to get set up defensively. And Swanson doing a good job of just wiping out that most recent goal and getting back to work, making a great save there.
Yeah, and that's, as a keeper, that's what you got to do. You just got to forget about the last play, move on to the next play. And Emlyn has done this long enough. She can do that easily.
Emlyn, of course, a sophomore, played a lot as a freshman. This one cornered in, still loose, out in front of the net, now cleared. Lexi Hilmer full-on sprint, but getting to it first will be Reagan Alvarez. Alvarez pushes it back in, and now a shot goes way wide off the foot of the Cobblers'
Riley
Brugg. So the Govs will control now, trailing by 2. And it's going to, in a couple minutes, they might start peeking over our direction to look at the clock and see kind of where they stand in terms of time. But as Chris said, you can't get 2 if you don't get the first. Swanson boots this one towards midfield. Hilmer, the only Governor in the area. That one jarred loose, controlled by Mayu. Mayu sends it back. Caitlin Taylor's got it, pushes it forward for Van Rokel, slips by her, and gets to Brugg. Brugg trying to work herself free, but that one's shoved out of bounds by Allison Demers. Soft toss in. Trinity Larson's got it. I'd say still about 20 minutes or so away from time-killing time for the Cobblers. As this one's centered out in front. Avery Young slips as she tried to pinwheel on it, but keeps it alive. Over to the far side, ripped away by Jasmine Yost. Yost stumbles and tripped up, and she will fall to the turf, and we've got another card issued, this time to the Cobblers.
And that's the consistency you want to see in your referee. First half, that exact same foul resulted in a card for the Governors. This half resulted in a card for Rapid City, which, you know, as a coach, hey, I may not be happy with some of the calls, but at least they're being consistent, and she's doing a good job at that. That
card was awarded to Captain Kylie Mellum. She'll make her way to the Cobbler bench. Checking in for her will be Skylar Huber. Whistle and kick away from Jasmine Yost. Gets it ahead to Lexi Hilmer on the far side corner of the box. Hilmer working hard to keep this one alive. Centers it out in front. Van Rokel was there, but again just slipped by in front of her. Second time that's happened here in the second half for the Governors. Van Rokel in outstanding position, but just not able to field the pass cleanly. Josephine Wirtz will control it midfield. Turns it back past Avery Young, up to Van Rokel here near side. Van Rokel trying to turn the corner and get around the defender. That one escaped out of bounds, but no whistle. Mayu can't believe it. They play on. Mayu, who's pleading with the referee, now thrust into action here as she steals it away from Demers for the moment, turning around 360. Tried to push it forward, and that one is kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, again, you know, the referee's going to call the game, just continue to play on. The intensity level, though, has really picked up.
Sure has, hasn't it?
And the girls now are figuring out, hey, we're in a fight. We want to win this. We're going to have to fight hard. And you've seen the Pierre girls, their intensity, the coaches, the girls are all standing up on the sidelines over here. You know, they don't want to lose this game on their home field.
And I imagine some of that intensity was fostered by the ejection on the red card of assistant coach Katie Berg.
Yeah, and if Katie helps to motivate the girls a little bit by what she did, then, you know, hey, great.
That's a battle won.
Exactly.
Governors trying to win this battle here with the Cobblers, trailing 2-0. 30 minutes to play here in the match. Micah Klinger has checked into the game for the Governors. This one stolen away from her by Klinger. By Mayu. Mayu on the right side sends a kick towards Emlyn Swanson, just barely sails over the top of the crossbar. If you're the Cobbler coaching staff, I don't think you're too upset with Aubrey Mayu's shot right there.
No, just challenging Emlyn. You know, with the way the wind is blowing out there, you never know, the flight of that ball might drop down like you want it to. So nothing wrong with that at all.
Swanson clears forward. Devin Van Rokel cuts it off, gets it to Flotmeyer. Not much room to breathe here for the Governors. As Van Rokel will give chase, but that one will roll out of bounds. Sophia McNaby, who scored the game's first goal, will chase it, but it's awarded to the Govs. Quick throw-in from Van Rokel, intended for Hilmer. Hilmer down to the left side corner, turning, puts a foot on it, brings it back towards the middle part of the pitch, drops to the ground, sent inside, and we've got another whistle. And we'll see if this warrants a card. It does. I think that was...
And that was something the referees, when they were over here at halftime, they were talking about, and that's what I've seen already from them. They were talking about at halftime some of the stuff that's happening away from the player after the play leaves that they need to clean up. They think it'll help them to, keep control of the game in better control, and that's that right there. Exactly what they were talking about. The play had left, and there was a little extracurricular afterwards, and Nicole saw it. Foul, and now advantage for the Governors, a free kick in a very dangerous location.
Absolutely. It's set up here on the near side of the box, about 8 yards to the left. A 3-woman blockade set up by the Cobblers. Lexi Hilmer will take the set piece. This could be a big moment here in this match. Hilmer waiting patiently, kind of surveying where she wants to place it. Jasmine Yost at the top of the box, now cuts inside. Hilmer a couple steps backwards, now approaches, sends it in, past the blockade, off the knee of Joanna Williams, and pushed out of bounds off the head of Devin Van Rokel. And there was a moment there where that ball wafted up in front of the net and looked dangerous against Joanna Williams. Van Rokel was there, but the header was a bit too strong. This one cut off by Zoe Bauer. Will stay in play to that far side corner. Bauer fighting with the Cobblers and now out of bounds, but a good-looking opportunity that maybe didn't go the way the Governors had envisioned it.
No, that was a great ball by Lexi, making it bounce right in front of the keeper. As a keeper, those are difficult, especially on a slick surface where the ball is bouncing in front of you. You got to react to it, and exactly what you'd want to see.
Jasmine Yost involved in some more contact as that ball bounces over the fence and out into the road, bouncing off a couple of cars that made their way out to the Pilk today. Joanna Williams, well, look, she is in no hurry to get things going here, understandably so, leading 2-0. On the road, long trip for the Cobblers. They'd love to get out of here with a victory. Jasmine Yost with a sharp shot and a diving save by Joanna Williams. That one from way downtown for Jasmine Yost. And Joanna Williams read it perfectly, dove to her right, extended her arms, and blocked it away. It will set up a corner kick for the Governors. A great shot from Jasmine Yost, but an equally as great save from Williams. Hilmer will take the corner from the near side. Low trajectory kick almost curls into the net, but another nice save from Williams. And we'll do it all over again.
Another great free kick by Lexi, and all that time, people don't know the amount of time Lexi spends down at the field just working on those type of things away from everyone, just does it on her own, paying off right here with some dangerous free kicks.
The entire Governor bench up on the line standing. Hilmer's kicked this one with more height on it. We'll get in through. Natalie Flotmeyer with a leaping kick, sent it in towards the net. It was blocked away by a Cobbler defender. Now the Cobblers are out and running. They've got numbers here trying to stay onside. Chopped in. Caitlin Taylor cuts it off for the moment, corrals it. Nice play by Caitlin Taylor to slow the roll there of the Cobblers.
Nice calm play. Great job, Caitlin. One of Caitlin's strongest attributes is she's intelligent and she's usually calm on the ball, and it showed right there. Great job.
Incredibly important to just stay calm, not let things get too hectic and out of control. Just like Caitlin Taylor did there with Cobbler numbers coming the other way. More fighting going on. One away by the Cobblers. Lofted in. Giving chase is Avery Young, and Emlyn Swanson in the highlighter green comes flying in. Steals it away and puts a good boot on one towards midfield. Shove off of the arm of Trinity Larson as she frees herself up from the defender at midfield. Push through. Again, Caitlin Taylor kind of getting the mix. Zoe Bauer's got it. Tries to turn the corner at midfield. That one booted out of play. High up into the sky. Bouncing forward. Emlyn Swanson's direction. Avery Young's got it. But they all come to a halt as we've got a whistle back towards midfield. And Nicole Hovstead will say, hey, we're going to give it to the Cobblers, but we're going to give it to them outside back towards midfield where that contact happened.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there. I was following the play to know, but this is a free kick from Bailey out here, which she'll put it at the top of the 18.
High floating kick on its way in. Emlyn Swanson there and fields it on the fly. Didn't have to move but 2 steps to get to that one. Normally a routine play, but not with this wind.
Yeah, and I said top of the 18, I meant top of 6, but she did put it in a dangerous location there.
This one booted ahead. Joanna Williams calls off the oncoming defender, says, I've got it. She traverses the box over to the left side. Drop kicks it. Jasmine Yost off the knee. This one forced forward, picked off by Demers. Demers here near side for Van Rokel. Van Rokel trying to work the sideline, but it's stopped by Sophia McNaby. And some substitutions incoming for the Govs. Checking in is Aubrey Fisher, her second substitution of the game. Demers throws it in over the head of a Cobbler defender. And again, a little chess match going on along the near sidelines, out of bounds. Govs will throw it in from right in front of their bench. And Devin Van Rokel pushed off the ball, no whistle. Demers gets to it, still fighting. This one chopped over towards midfield. Josephine Wirtz there to pick it up. Cutting sideways just inside the midway portion of the field. A full out foot chase going on as Zoe Bauer wins it. Puts it back in front of the net. Whistle. We got a player down. And it'll be our first Coca-Cola bottling timeout, our first true Coca-Cola bottling timeout, as our Vera medical staff will head out onto the field. We'll step away as they check on the downed Cobbler. It's 2-0. Rapid City Central leads. We'll be back after this short break on River 92.7.
What matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
The injured Cobbler has made their way off the field on the cart. Not that she needed the cart, but the Avera medical staff was there to pick her up and get her out of there as we look to get the number here. Looks like that was Lindsay Cole who had the injury for the Cobblers, but hopefully she'll be all right and can get back into this game. Her team is leading 2-0. Justin Coward alongside Chris Derry here with 22 minutes to play here in the second half, and the Governors trailing by 2, getting into crunch time as they have had a few good offensive opportunities, but nothing really out in front that makes you say that one they should have scored on. Or maybe it was 1 or 2 of those moments, but nothing so blatantly glaring that says, hey, this game could be tied, and now we've got another whistle, and this time a downed Governor. It looks like a lot of contact and a hard fall down to the turf. Natalie Flotmeyer's telling the Avera medical staff, hey, get over here. We need you. But it's Jasmine Yost.
Oh, no, they don't need her.
They don't need her.
Jasmine's just more angry than anything else.
They might need to check on the player that pushed or made contact with Jasmine Yost. When you contact steel like that, it sure can hurt. Now Jasmine Yost is up. She shook it off, as she often does. And Lexi Hilmer will take the free kick from the far side of the field, in line with the box. Hilmer directing traffic, has had a couple good corner kicks to set up here today. Nothing has been able to be cashed in. Hilmer with the left foot floats one in towards the box over the head of Zoe Bauer. Fighting for it was Sophia McNaby. She boots it out to the near side. That one will exit the playing surface and will set up another corner kick for the Governors. Near side this time.
Yeah, it was a great kick, left-footed kick by Lexi using her other foot. The Pierre girls just needed to use the head to get a shot in there.
Jasmine Yost with a sharp shot from just outside the box on the near side, but it curls with some spin to the left from our vantage point to the right of Joanna Williams. Scurries back behind the net. Joanna Williams taking her time. As we mentioned, no real rush here, leading 2-0 with halfway through the second half here. Jasmine Yost with the header off the kick from Joanna Williams. Will bounce around a couple times. Devin Van Rokel trying to control it. It is Demers who will settle things down. Pinwheels turns back. Flottmeyer feeds it inside for Fisher. Fisher pushes it across. Zoe Bauer chasing it down to the far side corner. Been very impressed with this Cobbler defense and how many times they've gotten in front of these shots and passes. This one set in. It's controlled by Joanna Williams for the moment. It's put in by Lexi Hilmer, but they're going to say no goal. They're going to say that it was in the hands of Williams when Hilmer tried to boot it in. For the moment, the Governor bench was up and cheering, but Nicole Hovdestead said no goal, and Kira Swenson is incensed after that one. What's your take on that one there, Chris?
You know, you can see it both ways. I'm not going to lie. I can see the referee side of it. I can see Kira's side of it. The referee said Lexi created the contact that knocked the ball free from Joe. And Kira and the coaching staff over here see it as she was bobbling it, and Lexi went in and took advantage of it. So, unfortunately, and I say this quite often, in the eyes of the referee.
As Lexi Hilmer with another crosser, Van Rokel with an opportunity, and that one is deflected high over the crossbar. Maybe the best opportunity the Governors have had today, and give credit to Sophia McNaby, who was there to deflect it high. She's a little bit shaken up, but she puts her body on the line and saves a sure goal from Devin Van Rokel. What a feed inside from the Governors.
And right now, the Governors are pushing right now and getting every opportunity. They're motivated right now. You can see it. Lexi has gotten free on that right side and put some beautiful balls across the face of the goal. Van Rokel has been there many a time. She needs to capitalize on one of those balls sooner or later that is being fed across.
You can certainly feel the shift of momentum in the direction of the Governors. They've had a couple opportunities over here. Ball really hasn't been on the defensive side for the Governors much at all the last few minutes. Another corner kick coming off the foot of Hilmer and off the head of Aubrey Fisher. That one scoots just wide of the net and popped up and over the net by Devin Van Rokel. So Joanna Williams will happily place this one down and continue to kill just a little bit of time. Man, some good opportunities there for the Governors, just not able to punch one in. They still trail 2-0.
And the Pierre coaching staff is making an adjustment. They're pushing more numbers forward. They've gotten rid of one of their defenders and they're going with a 3-back system now. So Josephine, Caitlin, and Sophia will be in the back line, and they're pushing everyone else forward to try to get their first goal and hopefully a follow-up second.
They pretty much pushed their chips to the middle of the table is what we're saying. Dropping one defender out, putting some more offensive pressure on, trying to manufacture a goal. Hilmer inside. One taken away by the Cobblers and pushed forward towards midfield. Now the Governors' back line will have to drop as Trinity Larson pushes it forward. And off the foot of Sophia Bruggeman and out of play. Will stay with the Cobblers.
And just on cue, the Rapid City Central coaching staff noticed the situation, what's happening, so now they've dropped a player back to counter it. So both coaching staffs are making their last adjustments for the game to see number one, can we hold it, or for the Pierre Governors, can we get a goal and hopefully a second.
Fun chess match continues as this one's booted towards Emlyn Swanson. She comes way out of the goal to field it on the fly. Quickly boots it ahead as she can feel that clock going under 20 minutes and starting to wind down. Jasmine Yost gives chase. That one booted to the far side to our right, down into the corner area. Will just run out of pace right alongside the flag. That needed one more evolution before it goes out of bounds.
You could not have drawn. That's a dart right there. I'm going to put it in the corner, and she literally put it
and
in
get
the
it
corner.
to stop right there.
Yeah.
And talk about some English on that one.
She probably couldn't do it. If she tried another 50 times,
Well,
she
I
probably
was going to
couldn't
say, as I'm
again.
sure she intended it that way.
Yeah.
As the throw-in comes in just north of the flag, that one booted out again. This one will go back to the Cobblers. The Cobblers leading 2-0, but they would love to add another insurance goal and essentially put this out of reach, barring a miracle for the Govs. Govs will need to stand strong. Emlyn Swanson knowing what's at the forefront here. Pushed forward, and now Jasmine Yost turns the corner, and she puts on the Jets. Up the near sideline, dribbling the ball as she makes her way down the field, and a nice slide tackle coming in strong was Bailey Merchant. Got out in front of Jasmine Yost. They both went tumbling down to the turf, but a great play from Merchant to cut off the valve of Jasmine Yost and force a corner here for the Govs.
That is one of Bailey's, you don't think is as big and strong as Bailey is, you don't think she's that quick, and she truly is that quick.
She's got some speed that'll catch you by surprise. Nice play there made by Caitlin Taylor to slow down the momentum of the Cobblers, and now Josephine Wirtz turning the momentum back around on Rapid City Central, back towards midfield. Cut off for the moment by Kylie Millum, taken away by Flottmeyer. Back and forth they go. Riley Healy steals it. Healy looking to her right, wanting to feed it through to her counterpart, Skylar Wald waiting for it, and it's stolen away by Devin Van Rokel. Up to Hilmer. With a boot pass ahead, giving chase as Zoe Bauer gets to it before it goes out of play, pushes it forward for Aubrey Fisher. And that one will just be pushed out of play by the Cobblers. I think a wise play, just let your defense get set up with a quick throw in by the Governors, obviously trying to push the pace, and it'll be slowed down by Hodvested, the official. Free kick coming here for the Govs. Natalie Flottmeyer will take it. Flottmeyer with hands on hips. This is where conditioning comes in so crucial. Low trajectory kick off the shin of Zoe Bauer. Gets its way out to Aubrey Fisher, who gives it back to Flottmeyer, who boots it up into the sky. Fisher off the head. Turns the corner, trying to steal it away. Nearly tripped. As this one makes its way for Wald, and now out of bounds for Caitlin Taylor. She couldn't quite chase it down in time, but she'll get the benefit of the throw-in. Maya Frabel back into the ball game for the Govs. Zoe Bauer just trying to get a steal and try to keep the momentum shifting in the Governor's direction, but the Cobblers have done a great job sustaining it. Avery Young has gotten free on the near side. She turns it inside the box from the right side, off to Emlyn Swanson's left. Pass out in front, shot on goal, sails high, and Kylie Mellon can't believe it. Man, did she have a golden opportunity to make this a 3-score game, and just got a bit under that shot.
Yep, and that's like put that ball away, and this game's done. So maybe the soccer guys are helping a little bit for the Governors here to keep this within striking distance.
Well, you know, Devin Van Rokel has had a couple of those opportunities on the opposite end. She hasn't been able to put it in, and Kylie Mellon, well, kind of experiencing a lot of what Devin Van Rokel has been experiencing today. Great opportunity, just not able to finish the job. Cobblers will get the free kick from just inside the midfield mark, and that catches Emlyn Swanson a bit by surprise, but she shook it off and fielded it cleanly. I think she was expecting it to come in that quickly on her. This one gets through. Lexi Hilmer giving chase, as is Jasmine Yost. Loose ball deep into central territory. Deflected away. Alexis Thorson gives chase, keeps it alive. Down here in the near side corner, off to our left. Van Rokel with it. Turns it back towards the corner, floats it in, and that'll just come to rest softly in front of Joanna Williams. She'll happily field that one. As we've got another substitution, Aubrey Mayu back in the game after her yellow card. Williams waiting. And it won't be Williams to take the kick. It'll be one of her teammates, but just checked in. Aubrey Mayu has got it, and now she's coming up the near sideline. Trying to work free from Caitlin Taylor, does so nicely, turns it back in towards the center. Mayu kind of do it all herself, pushes it in front, and it's cleared by Bruggeman for the moment, kept alive by the Cobblers. Push back to Mayu. Mayu trying to thread it through in between Caitlin Taylor and company. And the Govs will steal it away. Lexi Hilmer with it. Hilmer looks, sends a low trajectory shot up Aubrey Fisher's direction. That one careens off the thigh of Fisher, back in the Governor's direction. Zoe Bauer giving chase up the far sideline. And tangled up and dropped down. Both go the Govs and the Cobblers. Zoe Bauer involved. It'll stay with Pierre. Bauer will throw it in. Flottmeyer's got it. Inside to Fisher. Fisher met immediately. This one popped in, and now Bauer goes back down to the turf. More contact as it's not necessarily chippiness, it's just physical play continues.
Yeah, and the referee said are calling offsides here to bring the ball back. So even if they would have gotten a corner kick, it would be called back here for offsides. So girls just need to keep pushing. There's nothing wrong with the pressure that Pierre's putting on right now. They just haven't gotten a final product for the effort that they've put forth.
As we are now 10 minutes away from the end of this match, and crunch time has come for the Govs. They've got to force their way in to get 2 goals to tie this thing up. And now the Cobblers will do their best to just continue to waste seconds where they can. Aubrey Mayu up the near sideline, right in front of her own bench. Loses control, and it falls out of play. So a gift from the Cobblers to the Govs. Governors running out of time here at home. Try to take this boys and girls sweep. Jasmine Yost flying in towards the box on the near side, centers it out in front for Fisher. She just couldn't get enough juice on that shot as Joanna Williams goes down to all fours. And another great opportunity for the Governors squandered by possibly just not putting enough oomph behind their shot.
Yeah, but it was on frame. It was there. Again, opportunities are showing themselves, but the girls just need that final oomph, or whatever the word is you want to use.
A little bit of boost behind those kicks. I think Aubrey Fisher will gladly take the opportunity, but will definitely want to maximize on it the next time around. Whistle as a couple players go down. Governors will retain the possession. Lexi Hilmer will set up the set piece, 10 yards outside the quarter of the box on the far side. If there's any good news, the wind has subsided just a bit as Hilmer puts a left-footed boot up into the air just over the head of Jasmine Yost. Mayu will chase it down and just boot it out of play, force a throw-in by the Governors. Van Rokel quickly with it. 9 minutes to play. Flottmeyer with it. Nice feed inside for Yost, but it was booted out of the direction of the front of the net instantly by the Cobblers, and now the Govs will have to resituate themselves. Pushed back across midfield by Josephine Wirtz. Hilmer with it, pushes it. Bruggeman on the far side, feeding it in through a couple of Governors and finds its way to a Cobbler. Now Avery Young trying to feed Aubrey Mayu. Caitlin Taylor will turn, just kick it out of play. And a wise play from Taylor as she tries to get herself situated. 8 minutes to go. 2-0 Cobblers with the lead in the final couple minutes of game number 2. This one off the shin of Trinity Larson and out of play, so the Govs will get it back. 2 Governors asking for the ball. Devin Van Rokel gets it. Van Rokel with a soft toss in off the head of Mayu, right back to the thigh of Van Rokel. Fight for it. Lexi Hilmer loses the battle to Bailey Merchant. Merchant with a beautiful pass up ahead. Emlyn Swanson will just come way out of the net, boot it forward. Didn't want to deal with any crossers coming in. She made up her mind instantly, and it was the right decision. Flottmeyer forces it ahead. Fisher trying to give chase, but the speed coming through of Lindsay Cole cuts it off. And it's sent out of play.
And I think you're starting to see a little bit of the maturity of the Rapid City Central team with the older players. They're hey, we know what we need to do. We just need to stay calm, put this, salt this one away, so to speak. And the Governors here, I hate to say it, but if they end up losing this game, this is going to be a great opportunity to them for learn some things and to be better for the end of the season based on just learning the experiences from this game.
Nice send from the corner from Natalie Flottmeyer, but the Govs again just not able to get that click together. All the pieces have been there. They've just been implemented at different times. Seeing good kicks from the corner, just nobody there to clean it up. We've seen some good shots from out in front of the net, but nobody there to get the rebounds or the deflections off of Joanna Williams. And now here in the waning minutes, things looking grim here for the Governors. Pushed forward for Avery Young. Young to Mayu. Mayu being worked on by Taylor. Shot deflected away.
Natalie Flottmeyer working back, not going to leave her defense alone. She's putting in a lot of miles, even though she's not, they're not getting the reward for it. But we haven't said Natalie's name a lot, but she has been working really hard out there in the central part of the field.
She sure has, and you can tell she's in between plays when the ball goes out of play, keeling over, putting both hands on both knees, trying to gasp for air. And she is covering a lot of real estate here today. Zoe Bauer shakes free from a defender up the far sideline. That one deflected out of play. Bauer will grab it, quickly throw it in. Giving chase is Fisher. Fisher pushes it forward. Hilmer out in front of the net. Shot on goal, and it's in for Lexi Hilmer, and they've cut it to 1. What a feed from Fisher. Lexi Hilmer was there to clean it up. Joanna Williams stuck her left leg out, but couldn't get the stop.
Great finish, calm finish. And Joanna Williams for Rap City was in no man's land. All she could do is just make herself as big as possible, and she did. Lexi put it away. Great ball by Aubrey Fisher. Now they got 5 minutes left to hey, can we get one more? Can we salvage a tie out of this?
That would be utterly incredible. The first stroke of life for the Governors coming in the 75th minute. Lexi Hilmer with the first Governors goal, assisted by Aubrey Fisher. And, you mentioned something very, very interesting there. It was done very calmly. It was done with ease from Lexi Hilmer, like she'd been there in the moment before.
Yeah, she knew the ball was coming. She looked up, saw where Joe was. Joe was in the middle of the goal on her line, which means you have 24 feet of goal that's only being occupied by 3 feet of space, which was Joe. So you've got a lot of space to put it, just nice, easy, and put it in the back of the net.
So we'll see if the Governors can come from behind and tie this thing up. I think Kira Swenson will be thrilled with a draw here this afternoon. They're going to need to get one more goal. Cobblers looking to see if they can just hang on and ride this thing out, white-knuckling it all the way to the finish.
And the coaching staff is telling Morgan and Troy over there, telling the coaches, or telling the players, get the ball forward. Just get it out of our end. Here we go.
Maya Fravel pushing forward. Yost gets to it, and it's cleared out beautifully by Sophia McNaby. That one will roll out of bounds. Counting down around 4 minutes to go. Fisher trying to steal it away from the Cobblers defenders. Lexi Hilmer steps in front, trying to will this thing and find the equalizer. Pushed forward. Flottmeyer hand checking. Still loose, now up the far sideline and cleared out by the Cobblers. Wirtz will send it high up into the sky, back down into the Governors' offensive zone. Zoe Bauer there to claim it. Fisher feeds it inside, but it's cut off on its way to Jasmine Yost. Turned and sent forward. Bruggeman will give chase as it crosses the midfield marker on that far sideline. Bruggeman turns, sends it back in. Wirtz cleats it out of the air. Back forward, it'll roll out of play. And, even if the Governors aren't able to find the equalizer, tie this thing up, as we've got another whistle, and maybe an injured Cobbler making their way. She's grasping at her midsection and hobbling a little bit, favoring that left leg. As we get a substitution for the Governors, Reed Curry will check in for Aubrey Fisher. That injured Cobbler that's making her way off the field is Lindsay Cole. Hope that she's all right. A grimace on her face as we've got 3 minutes to play here.
And the coaching staff for Rapid City, I just happened to glance over, and Troy Anderson, who I've known for a long time and know his body language as well as anyone, both hands over his eyes just going, oh, can we just hold on to this?
Just hold on. get a big win on the road against one of the top teams in the division. Would be a big one for the Cobblers. Trying to even up their season. Get back to 500. Quick throw in. Curry there to claim it. Up the far sideline, puts on the brakes, trying to center something. Hilmer knocks it down, and it's kicked out of play. As we creep ever closer to that final horn. Things intensifying and tightening up here at the Pilk. Curry in crunch time. This one cleared out towards the middle. Caitlin Taylor going to get to it. Off the shin and through the defender. Devin Van Rokel will chase it down. Governors have numbers here. Near side. Turning around, heading back towards midfield is Van Rokel. Caitlin Taylor pops one up towards the inside of the box. Zoe Bauer there, chests it down. Hilmer out in front of the net, turns, has an opportunity. Shot on goal, it's a score, and Hilmer has tied it up. What a turn of events, unbelievable. Lexi Hilmer with 2 goals in the final 10 minutes has evened it up at 2 apiece. The Cobblers seem heartbroken, the Govs are thrilled. Unbelievable play from Lexi Hilmer, and more patience and more pause from Lexi Hilmer as she finds the equalizer, and the Govs look like they're going to crawl all the way back from the depths of a 2-0 deficit to tie it up and possibly get the draw.
That was, if you thought the last finish by Lexi was calm, that was the definition of ice.
I mean, ice in her veins, to say the least.
She took the ball out of the air, settled it, looked up, took a dribble, looked up, placed the shot. And as soon as she placed it, the keeper, Joe, threw her arms up like, I can't do anything about this.
She sure couldn't, and credit Caitlin Taylor for the assist on the feed in. She placed it perfectly for Hilmer. Govs trying to win it here in the final couple minutes as they've got more momentum and more opportunity. Looks like a corner kick coming for the Govs here.
Free kick for Lexi. They called the foul right there. So now this is your moment. Everyone forward, put your head on the ball, put whatever you can, and aim it towards the goal, and see if you can pull it out in the last minute.
90 seconds to play. This could be the last opportunity for the Govs. They've taken advantage of every opportunity here in the final 5 minutes. Hilmer approaches, puts it in play, on the way, and in for the goal! Unbelievable, it's Natalie Flodmeyer. Lexi Hilmer places it perfectly. She tackles her on the pitch. Unbelievable, 3 goals in the final couple minutes, and the Govs have stormed out in front, 3-2. What a turn of events.
That was a tackle. Lexi Hilmer just tackled Natalie on that celebration that a football player would have been proud of.
No yellow card on that one, that's for sure. Lexi Hilmer to Natalie Flotmeyer. Unbelievable. The Govs have fought their way back in front. The final minute here. The Cobblers are absolutely dismayed. They can't believe it.
What a comeback. I will tell you, that's one that you're going to hang your hat on and go, I cannot believe we did it. And that could be a season motivator right there.
Season-changing stuff possibly here for the Govs. It's cleared out by Jasmine Yost. Under 60 seconds to play. The ball in Governor territory. Now they're the ones trying to white-knuckle it to the finish. 3 goals with under 10 minutes to play. In the 78th minute, it's Lexi Hilmer and Natalie Flotmeyer combining for the go-ahead goal. Would be the game winner if the clock would strike 0. Time running out. Kira Swenson telling her girls to drop back. Lexi Hilmer cuts it off, rolls towards the Cobblers' direction. And everybody peeking over at this clock trying to see how many seconds are left.
Lexi has given everything she's got. She's just drained out there. What a Herculean effort by the Governors team, and Lexi leading the way.
And that is it. The clock strikes 0. What turned from utter disappointment has turned to utter joy for the Governors. 3 goals in the final couple minutes, trailing 2-0. They have stormed back, gotten the win in the most unlikely of fashion. And I think we know exactly what our Rounds Financial Services right on the money moment will be. Lexi Hilmer, Natalie Flotmeyer combining for the game-winning goal. They throw the crown on Lexi Hilmer. What a win for the Governors. And we'll talk about all of it in our Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg post-game show. Absolute scenes here on a Saturday afternoon from the Pilk. So much so it got Sean Blanchette on the move over here. He couldn't believe how thrilling that victory was for the Governors. They get the clean sweep of the Cobblers. We'll talk about all of it after this short break. We head to the Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg post-game show right here on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
Vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at dancingsky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step for better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a recarpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierce, South Dakota.
Futures aren't made by accident. They're dreamt, they're planned.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal
From the Pilk. Hello, I'm Justin Cowart. He's Chris Derry, and that was unbelievable. Governors trailing 2-0 into the final 10 minutes. In the 72nd minute, it was Lexi Hilmer who got the Governors on the board. She did so with a calm demeanor, found herself wide open in the front of the net after an Aubrey Fisher pass, and she was able to make it 2-1, get them close. You saw them run into the net, sprint to grab the ball because they said, you know what, we've still got some time left. We can still tie this thing up and look for the draw. Little did they know what they had in store as Lexi Hilmer would stay calm, score the second goal of the game for the Govs, tie it up, and we said, wow, unbelievable. Never thought the Govs would be able to even this thing up and get out of here with a tie. And, well, they weren't going to get out of here with a tie. It was an unbelievable final goal. Now, that right on the money moment presented by Rounds Financial Services was that second goal by Lexi Hilmer to equalize the game at 2 apiece. We thought that was going to be the big play of the game. We thought that was going to be what did it for the Govs to get the draw. But big thanks to Rounds Financial Services for the right on the money highlight. Rounds Financial Services, where your money works for you, OSAIC wealth member SIPC. And that Rounds Financial Services big money, right on the money moment came from Lexi Hilmer to tie it up. And Chris, you and I were like, wow, I can't believe this. They're going to actually get out of here with a draw.
Yeah, that like I said when we were off the air there, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen a 5-minute comeback, and I don't need all my fingers to do it. So it was an amazing moment. Lexi's led the way with the team. She willed the team, and the team followed her lead, and the team stepped up just like she did, and 2 goals and an assist in the final 8 minutes of a game to tie and win a game of like this is something that you can hang your hat on and be very proud of.
And absolutely, and when all seemed like everybody started to freak out, become frantic, and really things got hectic, you were trying to push the envelope, it was Lexi Hilmer who stayed calm in the moment, and she delivered the game-tying goal. That game-tying goal, as I mentioned, was our Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight, as we welcome you into the Family Dental Appear and get us from our friends at Hermanson Endodontics, who sponsor our big play of the game.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
And our Hermanson Endodontics big play of the game came in the 78th minute with under 2 minutes to go. It was a set piece set up by Lexi Hilmer. She sent it towards the middle of the box, and who else but Natalie Flottmeyer was there to clean it up and send it into the back of the net. That was our Hermanson Endodontics big play of the game. The winning goal for the Governors as they win it 3-2. All seemed lost for this team. There was some frowns, there was some long faces. All of that changed on Lexi Hilmer's first goal, and then of course with her Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight when she got the second goal. But you got to give it to Natalie Flottmeyer being in the right place at the right time. She saw Lexi Hilmer staying calm. She stayed calm and delivered the game-winning goal for the Govs for our Hermanson Endodontics big play of the game.
Yeah, I mean you can't draw it up any better. Lexi got the ball, got down the sidelines there, drew a foul, and as soon as she drew the foul, she knew exactly what she wanted to do for the free kick. Natalie Flottmeyer with a one-timer, putting it in the back of the net nice and calmly, and you just like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a comeback in the last 5 minutes like that, but it doesn't happen very often, and definitely doesn't happen very often in high school soccer.
A 3-goal comeback in the final 8 minutes of the game. Unbelievable stuff here from the Pilk as the Govs on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard read 3 goals to Rapid City Central's 2. And real quick before we take another break and come back for our Player of the Game segment, just wanted to ask you, we're obviously Rapid City Central, very, very talented team, very well-coached team. Would you have done something a little bit differently in that last 10 minutes if you were the Cobblers and their coaching staff?
No, he had dropped everyone back. He put everything out in front of them to keep everything. What he thought, Morgan and Troy, both the coaches over there, they dropped everyone back thinking that they were safe with the 6 defenders, and that's what they had dropped back with 6 defenders. And there's again, I go back to the thing you asked about earlier. Do you sit on a 1 goal or do you keep going? Well, it's one of those things. When you sit on a goal and you sit on a lead and you invite that pressure, you got to be willing to accept that pressure and stay calm under the pressure. And the Pierre Governors applied the pressure, and the Rapid City Central girls weren't able to handle it, and there's a result.
And credit the Rapid City Central Cobblers. They played a complete 80-minute game, but as Sean Blanchette told us as he was walking by, that was just a will and a want to win for the Pierre Governors. And when you have a will to win like that, you just can't stop it sometimes. The Cobblers played a great game, but the Governors played a better final 8 minutes and an unbelievable finish as they get the win 3-2. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to text or drive. There is no and. You've got someplace to be, so be safe making your way home, and stick around after this last break. We'll make sure and come back and hand out our Cowboy Country Store's Player of the Game. I don't think there's much secret who's going home with the t-shirt today, but stick around to find out, and we'll wrap things up for you here on this Saturday afternoon as the Governors get the comeback win over the Rapid City Central Cobblers 3-2. All 3 goals coming in the final 10 minutes. Absolute scenes here from the Pilt. We'll be back with our final segment here on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment.
They're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
With our new
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
What a finish for the Governors and Chris Derry, who's got some coaching experience all over the place, seeing some of the Cobbler players understandably upset, but they can't hang their head. They can be upset about the final couple minutes of that game, but they should not hang their head about the way they played the entirety of that game. Their defense was outstanding. They were in the way of a lot of passes out in front of the net. Some lesser teams would have allowed some of those passes to get through and turn into some goals, but the Cobblers, who are going to have a long ride back to Rapid City today, shouldn't hang their head about their performance. Yes, I understand it was a tough way to go out, giving up those 3 goals in the final 8 minutes, especially that final goal coming with under 2 minutes to play, but for the Cobblers, what was kind of your message to those girls, some of those girls you had coached in years past?
Well, it's tough. I care about a lot of the kids that I coach more than I probably let on, and watching great things happen out there on the field, no matter what team their colors they're wearing, it makes me proud, and it also breaks my heart when you see things happen. And Joe Williams, who's the keeper for Rapid City Central, coached her. She's a great kid, and I told her just quite simply, hey, it's not, don't hang your head. You're coming back. You look like you're almost all the way back, and you played a great game. You made a lot of great saves, and not a lot you can do when you get shots that are put in like that are so well placed. So for all the girls that from Rapid City Central, they played a great game. There's lessons to be learned, and I said it earlier when it looked like the Pierre Governors are going to lose. This could be a great teaching tool for the end of the season. Well, flip the script now for Rapid City Central. This could be a great teaching tool for the end of the season, and you got a couple really good coaches over there who I promise will use it if they see the girls down the road.
And another great teaching tool for the Pierre Governors, to never give up on the fight, never to roll over, even in the final 8 minutes of a game when you're trailing 2-0 and all looks lost. You cannot stop fighting. One of the coaching staff members made his way over here and said, Kira Swinson says it all the time. You can never give up. You can never give in. The girls kind of laugh at her, but that paid through in eons here today as the Governors stormed back from trailing 2-0 in the final couple minutes and get the win 3-2.
Yeah, Kira obviously talks about playing out every minute to the final minute, and you got to dig deep when the time is needed. And you know what they did? They dug really deep. They did what they needed to do, and man, I'll tell you what, great job on the Pierre Governors and the girls and the coaches for a last-minute win.
So let's hand out this Cowboy Country Stores Player of the Game T-shirt. Before we do that, let's hear a word from our friends at Cowboy Country Stores.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fill up your tank and your stomach. Fresh baked pastries, coffees, regular and breakfast pizzas, Champs Chicken, and more. Feed the family while on the go. Then treat yourself to a soft serve ice cream in cones and dishes. Convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country Stores. Euclid and Harrison Avenue in Pierre and in Fort Pierre.
Big thanks to Cowboy Country Stores for sponsoring our Player of the Game. I think no secret who this T-shirt belongs to after today's whirlwind finish. Lexi Hilmer with the final couple goals. Gets the first goal of the game for the Governors to make it a one-goal disadvantage, but then she ties it up with the equalizer to make it 2-2, and then on the free kick there in the final 2 minutes, she gets it in front for Natalie Flottmeyer. Lexi Hilmer had her fingerprints all over this comeback win for the Govs.
Lexi Hilmer announced herself to the rest of the high school class. I guarantee a lot of coaches watch film, and they're going to go back and watch this film and go, we need to pay attention to her. She does not stop, no matter what the moment of the game is. She does not stop. She will not quit. And given an inch of space, she'll take a mile. So great job to Lexi. It was not even a question on who the player of the game is for this one, and there shouldn't be any debate amongst anyone. She earned it.
And, you made a good point about a teaching moment for both of these teams. I guarantee you there are teams around the state that are going to throw on this film the final couple minutes and show their team, hey, whenever you think you're out of a game, not to be so. You can always come back, you can always fight, and you can always get a win like the Govs did here today. One final look at our Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Governors get the win in Game 1, 4-0 over the Cobblers in the boys' game. They come back and get 3 goals in the final 8 minutes to come back and secure the victory 3-2. Big thanks to our friends at Gales Gas Service for sponsoring our sports scoreboard. If you enjoyed listening to today's coverage on River 92.7, remember you can watch it live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page via live ticket. You can also listen live on the DRG News app. And a big thanks to Bauman Lumber, our video sponsor. Big thanks to my friend Chris Derry. Before we go off the air for this Saturday afternoon, final thoughts, Chris.
Great game, great 2 games of soccer. Great to watch both teams that come away with W's. A lot of good soccer, a lot of good players, and it's fun to watch good. It's fun to watch good soccer out there. So, great job to both teams, regardless of the outcomes, and looking forward to the next game.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday, September 2nd, when the Govs host Watertown right here on River 92.7. For my partner in crime, Chris Derry. For our great camera operator via live ticket, Brian Menning. For our man back in the studio, William Wilson, I'm Justin Cowart signing off on this Saturday afternoon. We'll see you next week for more Pierre Governor Soccer right here on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.